kids. It's time to get some SML Podcast all up in that.
I don't know. I have a hard time adapting. Like, everyone's talking about Beam now, and I'm like, but we just got started on Twitch. And people are like, hey, you should check out Facebook. And I'm like, MySpace will never die.
Right? Yeah, we get a lot of people. Not
Friendster
people,
forever.
Like, yeah, right?
We've only been doing this 3.5 years. We still don't know how it works.
No, we just kind of like figure it out as we go.
Our guests say they'll wing it, and we've been doing that since the beginning.
Same with us, you know. That's all tinyBuild is a big giant wing.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah, so far it seems to work.
You guys have been killing it, though. Like, tinyBuild is just blowing up.
Thanks.
Although I should probably save that for the show, shouldn't I?
Yeah, probably. I would say so.
Might as well start recording. So, what's up, everyone? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Joining me, as usual, is Chris Huber. Chris, how are you doing?
I have been playing a lot of Forza Horizon. That's how I've been doing.
Yeah, I saw that. Pretty excited to see you getting into Horizon. I might have to play some races with you.
I figured if anything, it's free with the games with gold. I want to kind of pump myself up for the one that's coming out in like a month. Not even. It's like, what, a couple weeks?
3 weeks, something like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
I can't wait.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. I'm gonna wait to see exactly what's going on with the whole like cross-buy play thing first, because I potentially want to get it on PC but I still want to be able to play with you. So
yeah, that's how it works. You get it on PC, we play together.
But do I also get it on Xbox One as well, or is it
if you buy it digital? Yes.
Well then, all right. Well then, I'm just gonna do that, and then I'll be playing on my PC, and you could play on your one, and everything.
You realize I just asked how you're doing. It didn't need to like. Get
well,
into
yeah,
it.
no, I know.
Like we have a guest waiting to be introduced, and you're like, let me talk about Forza Horizon and the Play Anywhere and this and that.
Well, let me. I just want to like preface saying that this is what I've been up to, and I've been doing okay. That's all.
No one cares, Chris.
That's all.
No one cares. Luke, do you care?
Sometimes I care.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I care at this moment.
I don't blame you.
So as mentioned, we do have a special guest with us, Luke Burtis of tinyBuild. Luke, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just out for a little walk while I chat, you know.
Sounds good. Have you also been playing Forza Horizon?
No.
Oh, you should.
No,
you really should.
He's actually currently hatching his
game.
eggs in Pokemon right now.
Right.
He's out walking around trying to find something. looking for a side duck.
Multitasking, right?
Yeah. Nobody can just like go out for walks casually. They need to have a reason.
So yeah, normally actually I go out and I play a lot of Hearthstone.
That's fair. I do that too.
Yep.
Oh, you guys are going to get along well. I can tell.
Yeah.
Already I could tell. He mentioned Hearthstone, so Chris is like, I love you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Be my friend.
Be my friends. Be the only person on my friends list that I could use my like 80 gold daily for. You're supposed to play with a friend and then you both get gold, but you need to have friends that also play.
That's true. It's a fact. Luckily, Yulia also plays, so we just play with each other.
See, I need more people that play the game. That's all. I skipped that day. The whole like watch your friend play and win a pack. I've never done that. Like ever.
And I don't play Hearthstone, so I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Yeah.
It's like the easiest way to get a pack.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. You just have to watch a friend win, but you have to have a friend to watch and win.
Well, after the show, you guys could swap info and you could be buddies on Hearthstone.
Aww.
See, SML, building friendships.
Aww. That would be great.
So, Luke, I'm thrilled to have you on the show. We have been covering tinyBuild games on the show for quite a while now, and we have always been talking about how awesome tinyBuild is, and I am thrilled to finally have someone from the company on the show. So, for the people who don't know what tinyBuild is and who you are at tinyBuild, tell us a bit about yourself.
Let's see here. tinyBuild is basically an indie developer and publisher, more on the publishing side nowadays. And we just kind of work with, a bunch of people around the world to help get their games to market more than they typically could by themselves. What I do, I don't even know what I do, to be honest. I wait for games, and then once I have a game, I'm like, what can I do with this game? And I go and I talk with a bunch of partners, and then we figure out what we can do, and then we release it, and kind of call it good. So I do a lot of the business type stuff and all of our shows, and I guess the boring business stuff.
So you're the boring guy at tinyBuild.
Yeah, the boring business stuff is
dude
necessary.
at tinyBuild. It's sad thing. Alex is the more fun guy, although he doesn't sound fun. He does a lot of the producing and whatnot. And Yulia, she works with a lot of the Twitch streamers and YouTubers and getting to play our games and things like that.
And you're stuck with us.
And I'm stuck with you guys. That's right. Talking about Forza.
You poor bastard. So, tinyBuild has been putting out a ton of amazing games lately. The most recent one that we covered on the show was The Final Station. I guess we should talk about that one a bit, huh?
I mean, we could, I suppose. If you want to be kind of depressed. It's kind of sad. Did you finish it?
I did not finish the game because I have way too much stuff to play, but I am absolutely loving what I have played.
Right on. Yeah, it's,
apparently your soul's going to get crushed at the end.
Yeah, that's so I heard, right?
Not surprising given how bleak and just a soul puncher the game is to begin with.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely, we tried to walk that line where we are able to tell a really good kind of emotional story, and give some decent gameplay mechanics and whatnot. So I think the guys that Do My Best did that's the name of the developers, Do My Best Games. They did pretty good job at that.
Now, how did you guys get in touch with them to make the Final Station part of tinyBuild?
So we actually have most of our games actually comes from Eastern Europe. Most everyone except for myself is Eastern European on our team. So we just have a really kind of strong foothold over there, and because of games like Party Hard that did pretty well, and Punch Club that did pretty well, our brand just kind of resonated within that region, and so they just kind of found us, and we just started chatting with them. It's usually just kind of just a really basic chat with developers to see what they're doing, what they want to do, how we can help, things like that.
Nice. You mentioned Party Hard. That was easily one of my favorite tinyBuild games to come around. We covered that, and we talked to one of the guys from Pinochle Games on the show, and
oh yeah,
holy shit, what a crazy game!
Yeah, there's some interesting guys. That actually started because so I used to run a conference called Casual Connect. It was like a kind of the largest B2B event for the casual mobile space. I did that for 7 years, and those guys, they used to be volunteers at our event in Ukraine. They're stuffing bags and stuff like that for all these people. We just that's how we initially met. And then they did a few years of just casual games, family friendly games. And they're like, all right, now we want to make a core game. And there you go. Party Hard arrived.
I wish I could remember what episode he was on. I think Alexander was his name. Too many episodes. Yep. I can't remember. Too many episodes.
It's just numbers. It's a blur.
Episode 186. Wow, I found that fairly quick. Party hard,
how many
podcast
back?
harder.
Like 50?
Podcast brothers.
31.
Jesus.
Because this is 218, and that was 186.
Ugh. We're climbing, dude.
Right?
We're getting old. Our show's getting old.
That's how I feel.
Back in my day, we put a microphone in the middle of the room.
And that was only back in April.
Yelled at it.
That was back in April. So we've done that many episodes.
You do it once a week?
We used to, but now we've kind of been doing like 2 or 3 a week, depending on how busy things are and how many people come on.
Oh, nice.
It's some weeks we could get hectic. I think the one week we had so many interviews, we did 5 episodes in a week, or I did 5 episodes in a week.
You did, yeah.
Chris
I
was
wasn't
like,
around.
"Fuck you! I am not being a part of that."
Yo, man, I had work.
I like my voice, thank you.
Man, it
I
gets
don't, actually.
crazy.
Yeah, me neither, actually.
So, Party Hard was a fairly big success. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, success.
Success for you guys.
Uh-huh.
A rock hard success.
Best kind.
That it's actually spawning kind of not a sequel, but kind of like an offshoot.
So yes, and then also sort of. So
I like that answer.
right. So yeah, so initially it is spawning another game within the Party Hard universe, if you want to call it that, which is Party Hard Tycoon. So you're kind of flipping the game on itself, where instead of going in and trying to murder everybody, you build the party. So you have to like advertise to people and put place all your speakers and your DJs and all that stuff. Everything that was already in the parties and Party Hard, you get to build all that stuff. And then manage it, but you also will have to deal with some sort of catastrophe type stuff that'll happen. So maybe a murderer will come into your party. Who knows? Or maybe the speakers will catch on fire and you have to deal with this. But then on top of that, they basically because of this they built a big framework to build all these games on, and so they actually are making a sequel to Party Hard.
Ooh, so they're actually like Party Harder?
I'm not sure what the name will be yet, but potentially.
Maybe Party Hardest.
I was so confused
Hardest.
when Party Hard Tycoon came out. I was like, what the... Wow, they're really just going a completely different direction with this one.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I think a lot of it kind of spawned from... they had this game and this sort of level editor framework and whatnot. And then, we had released Punch Club after Party Hard. And that's kind of just a management, type simulator game. And I did really well. So I think they're like, hey, what can we do within our universe and with the tools that we've already kind of built? And so spawned Party Hard Tycoon.
We have someone in our Twitch chat asking if we'll see another Fearless Fantasy from tinyBuild.
Oh, man. I wish, because I actually really did like that game and the whole mechanics and just the crazy art style and stuff. But probably not.
I have sadly not played that one.
Yeah, it was one of our very first games. I think it was maybe like our third, maybe fourth game.
I have to look this one up now. I want to know what I'm missing out on.
Everything. You're missing out on everything.
I miss out on so much. Oh, because it's Steam. Oh, I need to play more Steam stuff.
Well, there's also mobile versions of it.
I have a Windows phone.
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't even have a phone.
I'm one of those guys.
Is that a thing anymore? Didn't they burn those buildings to the ground or something?
I was actually because Windows Phone is being so ignored anymore, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe with the iPhone 7, I'll think about moving back to iPhone. And they're like, you don't get a headphone jack. And I'm like, I think my Windows Phone's doing okay.
Right, I like it.
Yeah.
I can plug my headphones into a Windows Phone.
Yep.
Not to mention the fact that you can plug them in and charge your phone at the same time.
Very true.
Because everybody's like, yeah, they're just giving you an adapter and you could just plug it into the bottom and then have your headphone jack. But now you can't charge your phone.
Right. Yeah.
dumb.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm sure they have some sort of grand plan that we'll all be like marveling at later, but yeah, I don't know what that is now.
Like someone on Reddit was joking around.
Blacker than black.
Oh god.
That's what it is. That's their big ploy for the new one. It's black, but it's not regular black because that's the other color. There's like 5 or 6 colors. Regular black is one of them, and then there's like blacker black.
That's racist.
Isn't there like a movie like that?
I don't know.
Like,
I'm not
what color
sure.
is that suit? It's black. Oh, it's like it's Washington black. Pretty funny.
Yeah,
I do like that someone on Reddit was joking around that because there's no headphone jack there, and if you need to use headphones, you have to use an adapter, but then you can't charge it. The Apple's going to release the Apple Splitter, where they give you the opportunity to both charge your device and listen to it at the same time because of how flexible they are with their devices. And you could pick it up now for just $49.99.
Yeah, right.
The Apple Splitter taking care of our... Apple iPhone 7, the blackening.
2005.
I do like that everyone's comparing the iPhone 7 to the Game Boy Advance SP without the headphone jack.
Oh, I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. But the speakers on that thing weren't horrible, though.
No, it was pretty good.
I was fine with it.
So we've covered Fearless Fantasy, we've covered Party Hard, we've covered Final Station. That's only like 3 of the 400 games you guys have put out recently. Like, you guys are busy. Like,
yeah, we did a lot of testing this year to kind of see what our fans like, kind of branch out to see what our team likes. I think we're starting to kind of finish up on that, and we're starting to narrow down like our 2017 lineup, which is basically full now, which is kind of crazy. Is pretty dialed into what we really do like as a studio.
My question is, how many of those are going to be coming to console?
Most of them.
Because I feel so sad looking at your history of games, and so many of them are, just stuck on PC or PC and mobile, and so many good games have not made the jump to console yet.
Yeah. We have actually an internal studio with a few guys that does all the porting for all of our developers now to bring their games to console. So I think we have 4 games now on PlayStation and Xbox. And we're continuing to bring many more. I think the next one, the Final Station just released. The next one will probably be Clustertruck, and then very shortly after that will be Punch Club.
So Punch Club is coming to console?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, God.
I think it's like 80% done or something like that. We actually had to take a break so we could get Final Station and Clustertruck done, so we could do like a simultaneous sort of release.
Clustertruck looks amazing, by the way.
Yeah?
It looks ridiculous. I'm excited.
We actually are, I don't know if we announced it yet. Probably not. I'll probably do it tomorrow, but whatever.
Close enough.
Yeah. We're doing
exclusive
tomorrow, actually, on Steam. So
that's awesome.
Good stuff. Yep.
I will definitely have to pay attention to that. And then, of course, you can't talk about Clustertruck and not mention Super Truck.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did that come about?
God, it was basically like just a couple hour talk between. Well, actually, it wasn't even a couple hour talk. So basically, what happened was, typically we do something for April 1st, right? One year we put a pixel art shader on Speedrunners, which didn't go over very well because I think that game's too mass market for a joke now. And then we've done a few other things. Some are funny, some are kind of whatever. But so we wanted to do something this last April, but we couldn't really think of anything. We were too busy with whatever the hell we were doing, and it just so happened that the Clustertruck guys are friends with the Super Hot guys, and Willem, the designer on Clustertruck, was like, so I made this little sort of joke level, right? And he basically just turned all the trucks, red and made it stop and sent it to Alex. And Alex is like, dude, this is a maze ball. Can we make like, you know, a few levels of this? He's like, yeah, it'd be easy. And so we reached out to the Super Hot guys, or they did, and said, hey, we want to do this as like, you know, kind of like a joke, yada yada yada. And the Super Hot guys like, yeah, sure. And so they sent us like the sound voice, whatever it is they used for making their Super Hot voice. And so we put that in Supertruck and then released it as an April 1st joke, as like, you know, an actual playable demo. And I think that was probably the single largest marketing thing that we did for Clustertruck. I think there was like, I don't know, 400,000 or 500,000 people that downloaded the demo inside of like, you know, the couple weeks. So that was kind of crazy. So we talked to the Super Hot guys again. We're like, hey, this was like super popular for us. Can we actually make this as like a mode inside of Clustertruck? And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So now it'll be a mode in Clustertruck.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, worked pretty well.
I love it when companies have crossover kind of ideas like that. So when that news came out of Supertruck, I thought that was one of the funniest things of April Fool's, and the fact that it was real was just that much better. Yeah, and then, it made a lot of work for us. There was a lot of people that didn't understand that it was an April 1st joke, right? So we still, to this day, you know, it was months later, get like support emails like, hey, I can't download the game, or, you know, it doesn't work for me. We're like, dude, like it was a joke. So we're not really supporting this thing yet. So. We have No Pulse in our chat asking if there's any thought of a Vive port for Clustertruck.
So we have experimented with with Vive, but with Oculus, and it does work, and it's very, you know, vomity, but it does physically work.
Dude, it looks so fast. Like,
like
so yeah, I could
would.
definitely see like just puking all over the place.
It's vomity.
Vomity. But maybe we'll make that like, you know, an update.
Even just looking at the trailer, that looks vomity. Like,
right.
Like,
vomit truck. Vomit.
Did you see it? I'm assuming you've seen the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fast. Like, it's very fast.
And then he follows up with boo Oculus. On the whole VR thing, I know you guys are doing stage presence on Oculus. Are you guys going to be supporting Vive at all?
Yeah, it actually already works on Vive.
Okay, cool. Because
we've. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know that No Pulse, the guy in our chat, is a Vive owner, and he always gets sad when something comes out only for Oculus, and it's something cool, and he's like, I want it on mine.
Right. Yeah. No, stage presence will work on both Oculus and the Vive when it launches. We're looking at a couple other platforms as well. Maybe something like Gear VR or something like that, depending on, I don't know, what we can do with it. But
PlayStation VR?
Yeah, we do have a PlayStation VR dev kit as well that we'll work with, as you know, to try and put the game on it too.
Nice. Our show is actually running a GoFundMe to try and afford our show PlayStation VR, and it's surprisingly doing well, which is confusing the hell out of me. But hopefully we could check out something tinyBuild on PSVR if the fund drive is successful.
Right. Cool.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed,
right.
Indeed.
We'll see.
Virtually, they are virtually crossed.
Virtually
right?
crossed.
Not really crossing,
Not
but I'll put a headset
leg.
on and I'll pretend that they're crossed.
Something like that.
Gear VR with Note 7 exploding feature. Oh my god. That is terrible. That is so terrible. So since
I'm really glad that I didn't upgrade to the Note. I'm very glad.
Yeah, I'm happy staying away from Android in general. So you mentioned
an operating system.
Clustertruck is kind of vomity in VR. What about Lovely Planet VR?
Oh god, that would be the same. Like, especially the first one. Like, Like what you have to do would. Oh my god, I can't even stand up thinking about it.
Because I know we had Quick Tequila on our show as well. See, we've covered. We've had a bunch of tinyBuild people on our show, and yeah, I was thrilled when Lovely Planet Arcade was announced, and it's just so happy. The game is just so happy,
is a very happy,
colorful,
yeah. Very ragey.
Very ragey.
Very pretty.
Very ragey.
Oh man, it's so fun to watch people play that and mess up over and over and over and just hear them cursing and screaming and crying. Oh man.
Yeah, that's basically me. I'm not very good at well, the arcade one I'm much better at, but like the original I was like I just couldn't do it. I don't have those kind of reflexes anymore.
I'm sure you guys have like shown that off at like PAX and other game shows, right? What are some of the most inventive curses that you've heard from people playing the game?
Oh man, I wish I could tell you, but our booth is so loud all the time. I barely hear anyone ever. I barely hear Alex standing next to me when he's trying to talk to me. But I'm sure there's some awesome stuff that I wish I could have heard and then relayed on.
Yeah, you gotta listen for the good ones and write them down.
Right?
Because that's the dumb shit we ask on this show.
Basically.
I mean, if you've ever been to like our booths and whatnot for the past, I don't know, year or so, we just basically just blast the party hard music all over the place all the time.
As it should
which
be.
is such a good soundtrack too.
It really is. We're actually gonna, because we unfortunately had to license all those music for the game, so we couldn't actually like sell the OST, and we had like a bunch of problems like YouTube and people making videos and blah 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 blah. But we finally a little while ago hired an internal sound designer, composer, sound effects person, and we're gonna have her remix or remake or whatever you want to call it, the Party Hard soundtrack. So it's it's very close, but it's just different enough that we can not get in trouble when we do YouTube videos and things like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
You're covering your own stuff essentially.
Yeah, we're gonna cover our own stuff.
Quote unquote cover it.
Mm-hmm.
The royalty free covers.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
It's like that one Avenged Sevenfold album where it was a royalty free cover album.
Yeah. Hail to the king.
We tried to buy the license so we could actually sell all the stuff, but nobody would ever respond to us, which was weird. So
why the hell wouldn't they respond to you? Like, are they waiting for Activision to step up? Like, nah, I'm better than tinyBuild. I don't settle for anyone less than AAA. They will play my rave music in Call of Duty. Techno
One
warfare.
day, there will be a party.
Party warfare.
Party warfare.
Remastered. 360 no scope, bitches. That'll be the vocal track. It's just that on repeat over a beat.
All right, Chris, that's your goal. You need to make a 360 no scope raver remix.
Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
I mean, I'd listen to it.
I get maybe. We'll see.
And it'll go in the next Party Hard game.
You never know.
They could have it. They could have a Warfield level where instead of taking over a party, it's just like a battlefield of the two sides of the war, and there's tanks and people shooting, and you're just going through trying to murder everyone while techno music is playing.
Kind of reminds me of an American Psycho sort of thing.
Oh, so
have
good.
you ever heard of Nero?
There you go, man. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
We're giving all the good ideas on this show.
Oh, yeah, we give the best ideas, let me tell
Quote
you.
unquote good ideas.
Let me tell you. Oh, well, yeah, we're the best at giving good ideas. Like the Shatterer, that's $1 million idea.
I completely forgot about the Shatterer.
That was the best idea I ever had.
I'm not sure I want to hear. I have to have dinner soon, right?
Yeah, we'll hold off on talking about the chapter.
Okay, fair enough.
It's exactly what you think it is.
This is so
simple
bad.
as that.
Oh, man. So we mentioned speedrunners briefly earlier. I know that's been planned for an Xbox release. Is there any news on that?
Yeah. I mean, it's coming. It'll
exist at some point.
Yeah, no, I think it's slotted for another cert pass next week. So it should be, after this one, very, very close, if not past.
So we're looking at like mid-2017.
Ish.
Potentially.
With the way certification works.
It should be this year. It really should be this year. So maybe
I'll
another
take a should. I'll take a should.
It really should.
Yeah, I'm eager to see that one hit console.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because it's such a party console-y game, right? Like, I mean, it did really well on Steam, but like, it fits in the living room a lot better. So I don't know. Well, we'll see how it translates to releasing, on consoles a while after it's released on PC. So hopefully just as good. It'll be pretty awesome.
I'm sure it will be. It's such a cool party game to play. So. Mm-hmm.
That's actually one of the few things that's on my Steam wish list. I think my wish list is down to about it used to be well over 30 or 40 games. I've narrowed it down to 8.
No, it's time to get it, Chris.
I know.
Stop dicking around.
There's too much shit coming out. That's the problem.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Every day, even on Steam, there's 10, 12 games that release now every single day.
Which is just insane.
It really is. It is.
It's just why are there so many games? I think someone said something earlier this week, 170 games were greenlit in a day. Yeah.
Basically, when they started it, because No Time was initially a greenlit game, right? It was the very first batch of greenlit games, and they only did just a handful. But recently, last year and a half or something, they started to they ramped that up. They greenlight things in batches of 75 or 100 or 50.
Oh God, that's kind of
crazy. It really is. And then most of them don't ever get released. So it's a really weird process. But at least it allows for people that could have never really made money with their game and ideas to give them at least a chance to do that.
Just such a crazy concept that 100 and some games are greenlit all at once.
Yeah.
There are just too many games coming out.
There are way too many games. That's one of the things that I end up bringing up with a lot of our guests is do you feel that with how many games are being released on a regular basis, do you feel it's hard to kind of set yourself apart from the other things that are out there?
Oh, sure, of course. 3 years ago, if you release a game on Steam, you basically, if you're a small studio, 1 or 2 people, whatever, 3 people, you just make enough money that you could make another game, no problem. It'd just be done. Nowadays, you're very, very lucky if you can make enough money to make your next game. It's a really weird dynamic now.
I'm guessing things are going well enough for tinyBuild that you guys are, continually putting out new titles.
Yeah, I mean, for us, to be honest, because a lot of our content does come from Eastern Europe or very, very small teams, they don't need a ton of revenue to be able to make their next game or to, live for a few years without having to work and be able to do kind of whatever they want. That makes it a lot easier for us to make them happy, right? If all of our games were, 3 or 4 or 5 person studios, and they were living in, Seattle or California or wherever, in the U.S., that story would probably be very, very different.
So basically, you're going after slave labor.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but
close enough.
So tinyBuild hires slaves, confirmed on our show. We're getting the truth out.
Getting the truth out. No, we just know how to make people happy.
Which is a good thing to do. I mean, as long as you're making customers happy, they'll keep coming back, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's it's only been 3.5 years or so we've been around, and really only the last 2 years where we've actually been really kind of in the publishing-esque role, more heavy. So it takes quite a while to build up a following to where when you release a game, a good chunk of them will buy it, and then that'll make everybody happy. So we're starting to get to that point.
Was it surprising how quickly people just sort of gravitated towards tinyBuild with the games that you guys are releasing?
I think for everyone on our team, we're super surprised on like all the support that we're getting just kind of overall. Because I mean, we're all a bunch of nerds and gamers, and we just kind of do whatever we feel is right in our guts and our hearts, and whatever we kind of like to do, and it seems to resonate with enough people that we can, make all of our developers happy, and then, we can kind of continue as a business, and everyone's, kind of happy. So we're going to continue to do that.
Are there any games that kind of didn't perform the way you guys expected, either by, blowing expectations out of the water, or they just kind of fell flat?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's always games like that. Punch Club, for instance, we had no idea it was going to do as well as it did, because a game like that does not show very well at events at all, in fact. And so, the last event that we showed it at before the release, we're like, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know what we're going to really do, blah, blah, blah. So, we came up with some crazy, stupid-ass marketing stunt, which ended up driving just tons of traffic to it, and now you know the story of that.
That was one of the Twitch plays, right?
Yeah, so it was a Twitch plays thing, which was nothing unique. We did that with some other stuff, and we had Party Hard with the integration where you could mess with the game and whatnot. So it was nothing kind of new there. I think what really actually drove the traffic was really kind of a double-edged sword. And that was, we told everyone essentially that we weren't going to release Punch Club until Twitch beat it, and we had pre-orders up and things like that, and so we had said that, and then we also had said, or it'll release on like the 27th or something like that, and it was like 2 weeks later or something, but nobody read that part. So they're just like, tinyBuild's not going to release this game until Twitch beats it, and people were just going ape shit. It was nuts, and tons of hate were just being poured at us. And then like the Twitch community came on board and just like fought back the hate, and essentially it was just a big kind of battle, and eventually the Twitch fans, I guess, our community, beat out the whatever trolls and stuff online, and yeah, it just became this huge sort of marketing ploy, and it worked out really well.
And how long did it take?
Went the other way. I have no idea how the game actually would have done.
And how long did it take for Twitch to beat Punch Club?
So that was another sort of thing that could have gone really, really wrong. So we expected it to take, based on like our playing and whatnot, right? We had expected it to take probably like 5 days or 6 days or something like that. And so I think we started on a Wednesday, like a late Wednesday or something. And it turned out that they were going to beat the game by Friday afternoon. And yeah, and as you may or may not know, you can't release games on Steam during the weekend. Like, you can't physically do it. And so what would have happened was the game would have been beaten, and everyone that would have pre-ordered the game and would have been just livid that we didn't release it, because we said, as soon as Twitch beats it, we'll release it, but we couldn't physically do it. So we kind of like, we jumped into the chat and people were doing stuff, and we're like, there's these other people, and maybe you should, go talk to them a little bit. Like the last maybe 4%, we kind of like guided them a little bit towards the finish line, so we could actually finish the game in time for Valve to still hit their button on their end. And
so you
cheated.
You cheated.
We cheated a little bit. I'm gonna we cheated a little bit, but we had to.
You mentioned Twitch trolls, which leads me to One Troll Army, which was another game that you guys had a fun little Twitch contest with. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us about how that one went?
So, One Troll Army, that was another, how I talked earlier about experiments that we were doing this year. That was another game that we worked with the developers on, and we actually just bought it. They were doing some things. It was their first project in Unity from whatever else they're using before. So they were doing a lot of, just messing around. And we're like, hey, we want to try this whole, I think Twitch calls it stream first games now. And so we talked with them because they're also doing another game for us. And we're like, hey, how about we just give you, whatever we gave them for the game, and we'll do this huge test on Twitch. So yeah, we just wanted to make a game where like the core gameplay loop was with the Twitch fans interacting with the streamer, and it worked out pretty well actually.
Isn't that also how you guys determine the price of the game?
Right, forgot about that. So, yeah, that was another.
Did you try blocking that from your memory?
That was another essentially marketing thing that we did. We internally knew the game was going to be $0. Like that's just what we wanted it to be, right? If it wasn't $0, I don't know if it would have gone as well as it did as far as a test or a sample project for us. But it actually did. In fact, the Twitch viewers beat our ass. To be honest, like, we were playing it. I think Mike was playing it, and they were just stomping him. We expected it to take, I don't know, a long while. Like I think we were gonna have like take turns playing and stuff. I think it was gonna take 12 or more hours to, decide the price or something. And they just started stomping us. And I think it was down like $6 in like, I don't know, an hour or something. Like,
and what did it start at?
What did we start at? I think we did start at $10. If I remember,
was down to 6 in like an hour.
Yeah, and like every time, I don't actually remember the actual algorithm we used, but like I think it was like every time your base took damage or something, it would drop by a penny. So yeah, no, it was interesting. No, it wasn't that. It was like every time you lost, it would drop by some sort of certain amount based on how much damage you took and whatnot. So yeah, it was rough. I think it only took like 6 hours or something, and we're down to 0. So we're like, okay. Well,
oh my god.
I guess that worked, kind of.
Goes to show you can't underestimate the Twitch audience.
Seriously, yeah, they pull together. Like, so we did another game recently called Road to Valhalla, and we had a Twitch Plays version of that. And I personally didn't think anyone was ever going to beat that game in the Twitch Plays thing because it was just so difficult. Like the timing had to be perfect and everything. It was ridiculous. But sure enough, it did take 4, 5, 6 days, something like that. But sure enough, they did beat it. There was maybe a handful of people that were like really diehard doing it. They made like little bots that would read in like Excel document stuff of commands that they had figured out where they wanted it to go each time, and they would just spam in the chat and like making it go the exact location multiple times, and then they would adjust it based on what they needed, and it was pretty cool to watch.
That is insane. Because that's not an easy game to play, by yourself, and to have to do it via Twitch with how many other people messing with you, just holy shit.
Yeah, it was nuts. I actually really like Road to Valhalla because like it reminded me of Marble Madness, and I really loved that as a child.
And you guys had fun with the press release on that one with all the ball jokes as well.
So many ball puns. Just so many puns in general. Unfortunately, the game was originally called Role-Playing Game, which was like the best name ever. But we had to change it because, like, if you Google Role-Playing Game, you're never ever going to find Road to Valhalla or that game, right?
It could have been a subtitle.
Yeah.
Road to Valhalla, a role-playing game.
Yeah. Yeah, we had thought about that, but it's too convoluted. So we're like, But a role-playing game was so great.
That's so good.
Role-playing game.
I think the most recent game you guys announced has been Streets of Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that one.
Man, you're making me remember a lot of games here.
Well, you're releasing quite a bit of them.
I know.
It's not our fault that you're so busy.
I know, right? Shit.
So Streets of Rogue. What is this game? So Streets of Rogue is it's a dungeon crawling roguelite RPG, I suppose. Right now you can actually play single player and or co-op. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get online co-op working or not, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. It would. I think it would escalate the game crazy, but who knows? It's a single developer doing this game, so it's a lot of work to do online stuff. But anyway, so it's a game where you can do a lot of different things. You could run around and shoot everybody if you want. You could run around, just box everyone. You can run around, sneak around, and complete all the missions with just stealth. You don't have to necessarily fight anyone. You could do what's the word?
Pacifist.
Yeah, you could be a pacifist, but like you could just convince everybody to do things for you. So, yeah, you can do so many different things in this game. So many different ways to complete each task, and I can't remember how many characters Matt wants to have. I think it's either 30 or 50 different characters.
Good Lord.
That he wants to have in the game, and they're each going to play different. So it's that combined with being able to do whatever you want. It's this huge open sort of sandbox roguelike RPG dungeon crawling thing.
Yeah, I like how the website describes it as the world's only RPG roguelike action stealth shooter brawler co-op mega game.
Right. Yeah. See, there you go. We'll string a bunch of buzzwords together and call it good.
I also enjoy the fact that you guys are doing like a free open alpha for this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to streetsofrogue.com, you can just get the game and play the alpha right now.
Well, good. I'm going to go do that right now.
There you go.
What made you guys want to do a completely open alpha like that?
So I think for a game like that, you need a ton of feedback, and we like to reward people a lot. Like we're pretty lenient, I suppose, or whatever the word might be, with like all of our Steam keys and whatnot. So we like to reward people that help us out. And we at tinyBuild, even a really small team. I think we're like 6 people, and like I said, Matt's only really one person and like a sound guy on and off. So we do actually need a lot of help. So by allowing like a free open alpha for people to essentially report and tell us a lot of different feedback, that's just one way we can reward people, and then also get feedback. So.
True, feedback's always
important
good.
to get. Yeah.
Yep, it is.
Now I know.
Are you sometimes worried with like doing an alpha like that people are just going to be like, oh, cool, I could just play the game for free. I'm not going to get it. Like when it actually gets full release.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a concern there, and there's always people that assume they're going to get full versions of games if they get into like a beta sort of thing, which is a little weird. I don't know any game that you beta it, you actually get the full game. But whatever. So I mean, you always have to kind of deal with things like that. But in general, the benefits greatly outweigh the few people you have to deal with.
I've always just been like kind of concerned for certain companies, like maybe not getting as many sales as they probably should have gotten had they not gone that route. But I mean, obviously, when you've got so much stuff to test, you really can't delegate like that high of a task to just one person. Like, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I could see it. I understand it.
And the game's still over a year. Well, I guess it's about a year away now. So it's really kind of like a pre-alpha, to be honest.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You got to figure it out somehow.
I got to know personally, because right now it's just listed as PC. Will that one be coming to consoles?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yep. That'll be another really good console game, I think. Kind of along the lines of like the first Dungeon Defenders. That was really great. Like a co-op sort of sit down play game, or like Castle Crashers. I have a feeling it'll kind of give us a feeling like that with people in the living room.
Yeah, and if that somehow gets, if online play becomes a reality for that game, that could just blow up.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Cool.
Are you guys planning on stepping in to help with development at all, or do you guys prefer to just kind of stay hands off and let the developers do what they need to do?
So we always suggest a lot of stuff. We always have a producer type person that'll help you out with whatever you need. With all of our developers, they always have the option, if they need extra help for whatever reason. Maybe it's they need to go to an event, or they need help with online networking. There's resources for them. And obviously, we have asked Matt if we can do this, because we feel it would greatly increase the game. But in the end, it's kind of really up to him.
Yeah.
So we don't ever dictate to people after we sign a contract. There will be times where we will say, hey, we need this to be in the game in order for us to sign it. And if they don't like it, then obviously we won't do it. Like, for instance, the Party Hard guys, back when we signed that, I told Alex and whatnot, we have to have Twitch integration in this game if we're going to sign it. Like, it's the perfect sort of fit for us right now. And so we put it in, and they signed it, obviously. And there you go. Now it's in. And it that greatly helped with the sales and visibility of that game.
Yeah, I love the Twitch integration in that. Where you could
so
just
trolly.
Fuck with people so bad if you want.
Yep. It's pretty bad. There's not a lot of benefits. There's just a lot of negatives.
Just send a bear in to fuck people up.
It's so ridiculous. But it works. It's great. I love it.
Now, you guys love Twitch integration. I notice nearly every game that you guys have coming out has some form of Twitch integration. I guess that's going to continue with all releases going forward, or most of them?
It's definitely considered for every game. There will definitely be some games where we probably won't have any sort of Twitch integration in them. Because, depending on the game, if the game's kind of gimmicky, then it makes sense to put some sort of gimmicky Twitch stuff in there. But if the game's like Mr. Shifty, for instance, I don't know if we'll have any Twitch integration with that, because it's just such a solid game. I don't think we need anything gimmicky-esque to raise awareness for that. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No pulse in chat. Twitch is dead. Long live Beam. See, you need that Beam integration.
That's right.
I mean,
have fun with your one friend. Correct.
I mean, Beam kind of has integration in it to just fuck with people naturally with the points, the credits that you earn, or whatever it is. Could you see Beam integration working in your games? Like, if it was something you wanted to pursue?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it makes business sense to do that, then we would. Just like with Twitch, when it made business sense to do it. So that's why we're such a strong partner with Twitch, because many of our games fit that audience so perfectly that it just made sense.
I'm still hoping for MySpace integration.
Yeah,
MySpace.
Want to get Tom back in the mix there.
Yeah, man. Just the thumbs up every time, just looking back at you, smile on his face. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
So for the rest of 2016, what is going to be coming from tinyBuild? Either on Steam, on consoles? What do we have to look forward to in the next 3 months?
Jesus. So Clustertruck very soon. That will be on PC, Mac, Linux, and the two main consoles there. And then we have Punch Club. It'll be on consoles and 3DS. I
was so excited to see it come into 3DS. That's fucking perfect.
It's been so difficult, but hopefully, that works out. Because then we'll do a couple of our other games.
Could that lead to a Wii U version of Punch Club?
No.
Okay, what about NX?
We'll try and get on an NX or something like that. I don't know if we're cool enough for Nintendo right now, but we'll see. But yeah, no, we launched a game on Wii U, and it's just the other consoles make more sense. So, see what else? Stage presence probably.
With Vive support.
With Vive support and Oculus support, or Rift support. The Diaries of a Spaceport Janitor. That will launch shortly.
What about Check-In Knockout?
Oh, God. Why would you have to ask that question? Maybe. Oh, shit. Speedrunners. Speedrunners should launch this year on both Xbox and PlayStation 4.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Online networking is a bitch, man, I tell you. Yeah, Check-In Knockout. I don't, maybe. I can tell you that it is in certification for consoles. Basically, we told them, because they're a group of students out of the Netherlands, and we told them that we can't launch your game on Steam. Like, if we launch your game on Steam, it'll die, just like day one dead, because it's a local, co-op game, or not co-op game, but brawler beat 'em up, game. So it has to launch on the console at the same time, and that proved to be a lot more difficult than they had thought. But they have it ready now, and once we find a little bit of time here, we'll help them with all just paperwork essentially to get into the certification process.
I like that your website's optimistic by saying by 2029.
Yeah. Yeah. We're pretty optimistic people.
Now, is that one just...
We don't want to, under-deliver there, right?
True. Very true. You're giving yourself a buffer.
That's right. People will be pleasantly surprised if you've done that before.
Now, was that one just PS4, or is that coming to Xbox as well?
That'll be Xbox first.
Okay. I'm going off of what's listed on the Wikipedia page to kind of help with platforms listed.
We have a wiki page?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
nice.
tinyBuild Games. It has all the games listed, and for Check-In Knockout, it only lists Windows and PS4, so people got to fix that shit.
Right?
Send Alex to fix it.
Seriously, yeah.
And then I've been curious about this one myself. Is there any chance that Dungelot is going to show up on consoles as well?
By consoles, do you mean PS4 and Xbox?
Yes.
Probably not.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the right platform for it, to be honest. Just to have a cursor kind of running around, basically be like a point-and-click adventure game on the console, and that's not that engaging, I don't think. However, if Punch Club on 3DS does well enough that it makes sense, then we'll probably do Dungeon on 3DS.
Hey, that works because I got a 3DS as well. So
there you go. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Armakrog is a point-and-click adventure, and that worked really well on console.
Yeah.
So
no, that's true.
Armakrog was pretty great. So when you're not working on games, talking with people about games, doing our dumb show, what games are you playing right now?
I play a lot of League. Probably too much.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well, you know. I can't be bothered to learn another 150 champions to play Dota, so... and then I recently, since it launched just before PAX, played, the expansion to WoW. So, back into that, apparently. And then, Hearthstone when I'm out walking around.
And Pokemon Go, clearly.
Nope. Don't
really?
do Pokemon. Never. Couldn't do it. Can't do it. Didn't do it as a kid. Don't get it. I played obviously I played like a couple levels just so I understood the game mechanics and stuff and what was going on. But it was not interesting to me at all. However, whether it was a fake article or not, I did read somewhere that they might try and do like a Harry Potter version. I'd be all over that shit.
That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter Go. Harry Potter.
Oh, that's another one. We're actually releasing Party Hard Go this year.
What?
Do tell, sir.
Well,
I'm ready for this. Come on.
It's just Party Hard on mobile, but we did call it Party Hard Go.
Oh, I was hoping that you would have to go around and like find bikers.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how well that would work for us, but
I have to hatch a bear.
Seriously. And then dance with it.
And then an FBI agent comes and shoots your egg.
Yep. We might get swatted a lot, I'm not sure. So.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be terrible. Holy God, that would be so bad. I'm just killing people on my phone.
Yeah, just leave me alone, man. It's a game.
Don't tase me, bro.
So yeah, still a lot of stuff coming in the next couple months.
Anything you're looking forward to in the coming months? Any games that you're excited about this fall?
Outside of ours?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing at
The
all.
only ones that matter.
Actually, you know what? I imagine I'll be pretty excited to try out Final Fantasy 15, I believe it's called, right?
Yeah.
I did really like the Final Fantasies growing up and whatnot. I didn't really like kind of anything after like 10-ish, but I do like that sort of thing. I just don't have enough time for things like that anymore. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't have time for like 50-hour RPGs anymore.
Seriously. Yeah,
Right.
It's kind of ridiculous.
But I could play Party Hard for an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, you could.
I'm going to have to get back into Party Hard. I want to play that more now.
Dude, I've been finding myself playing shorter games way more often than like ones that you have to sit hours and hours and hours and hours into.
Yeah, we started talking about it. It's not so much that you're competing for dollars anymore; it's that you're competing for time.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting how that kind of flopped. So I don't know. I was going to mention that as far as Party Hard goes, like there was a workshop integration I don't know a while ago or something. So there's probably hundreds of levels that you could play now that other people have made.
Are you guys considering bringing any of that stuff to the console versions? Like a DLC pack with a bunch of added stages?
It depends. It's always something. It's something we have definitely discussed. It just kind of always depends on if it makes sense, right? Typically, that doesn't make financial sense for us to work on it for, 3 or 4 weeks, sort of thing. So, I don't know. We'll have to see.
New stages, new achievements, new ways to die and kill people. I'd drop $5-10 on that.
Yeah.
I'd imagine we'd probably just do it as a free DLC, actually.
See, you can make money off of this, but you're just being too nice to customers.
We could do a lot of things. We chose not to, but I don't know. We'll see.
So what's next for tinyBuild as a company? Like, do you have any other conventions you're doing this fall or next year?
So actually, like Alex, I think he has like another 4 or 5 events he has to go to.
Wow.
Before the end of the year. I have to go to one more, and that's TwitchCon at the end of this month. And then, next year just starts the whole cycle over again with, both PAXs at the beginning of the year, and then E3, and then, everything. So,
any chance we'll see tinyBuild at MagFest?
I've been asked to go that a bunch. The thing is, it's in New York, right? I think.
DC,
or at least East Coast.
Yeah,
so definitely East Coast, and I don't know. It's a long flight, man.
Man, that's like the only thing I go to every year.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, there's so many events. Like, there's probably literally an event you could go to every single week of the year about video games. That is probably very relevant, right? 5, 10, 15,000 people. It's just, you kind of got to pick and choose your battles because, doing events like the PAX and stuff that we do is not cheap at all.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed that you guys make an appearance at MagFest.
Fair enough.
Just to share some drinks with you. Get party hard at MagFest.
There you go.
By that I mean murdering people at MagFest.
Also, yeah, you could treat it like a real life version of it.
Just bring a chainsaw.
We actually almost put like a conference level in Party Hard. Then we're like, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Bit too close to home.
Too close to home when we're showing it at PAX. Yeah, that'd been a little rough.
That'd be funny, actually.
I mean, I'd find it funny.
And you have like pixelized versions of like Phil Spencer and Shigeru Miyamoto up on stage.
Oh man, the lawsuits just come rolling in.
I mean, they clearly have different names.
Sure, of course.
Clearly.
Like Chuck Spencer.
Chuck Spencer.
Oh, well, Luke, I know we've been chatting with you for a little over an hour now. I'm not sure if there's anything you want to talk about, anything else that you want to talk or discuss.
I'm pretty good. I mean, we kind of covered basically most of our games.
I tried. I did my best.
Yeah, right? We do have, a handful of things that, maybe 6, 7 titles that we haven't announced yet, that will be 2017 stuff.
Anything you could sneak into our show?
Unfortunately not.
Damn.
Unfortunately not. I will tell you we will announce another shoe games, I think, at TwitchCon. Definitely 1 game. Probably 2 games.
Is Snail Bob 3 coming?
It might be. I'm not sure.
No Time to Explain sequel, maybe? The hesitation on there says enough.
Right? Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they've talked about it, like Tom, the developer, and basically the guy who did most everything, has mentioned it, right? But I think it was kind of just more of a one-off sort of thing.
Makes sense. It's fun, though.
Yeah.
You know what else is fun?
What?
Streets of Rogue. I'm playing it right now.
You're just playing it right now?
Yeah.
Screw this guy. We'll go play a game.
Well, I mean, hey, man, I want to know what's going on in this.
Fuck this interview. I'm just gonna play a game instead.
I can multitask.
Oh.
You both could play it, actually.
Yeah.
Unless you're not in the same,
I'm scared if I fired up a game on my PC right now, it would explode.
Your computer would explode, yes.
It might just melt. The gerbil inside will have a heart attack.
Yeah. And I'm not really like, it's not like I'm fully fledged 100% into this right now. I'm just kind of like wandering around seeing what I could do. Like,
yep.
Oh,
cool.
The Twitch chat has a good crossover idea. No Time to Party Hard.
No Time to Party Hard.
I would play that game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm down. Let's make it happen. Let's get Alexander on the line. We'll work out the crossover. We'll get Alexander back.
Hey, as long as they develop it, that's fine.
Checking my Facebook messages, I actually do have one final question for you from Shiz Blacka, who was supposed to join us tonight, but his Skype is being a bitch. He is a quote-unquote popular Twitch streamer. He has a question. Ask Luke how the fuck you craft medikits in the Final Stations shipbag crafting interface, please, with a hat face.
Well, first you have to have the materials to craft a medkit, and then you just hit the button at the front of the train. It's very easy.
I don't know. Sounds pretty complicated for him.
Yeah.
He couldn't even get Skype to work.
I was
shots fired.
The train, the train is intricate enough, I suppose. I was, very early on, we had talked about. Alex had told me to go watch Snowpiercer, right? Because that's kind of very similar to this, and I had never heard of the movie or anything about the game yet, and whatnot. So I went and watched it and whatnot, and I was hoping there'd be some more really cool things you could do on the train, but yeah. So it is what it is on the train. I think it works pretty okay for what the story is trying to do for you. I think maybe if there was a lot more things to do, then that would deter from essentially trying to pay attention to the people that you have on your train, because what they say and what they're doing and obviously their health is kind of a big deal. And if you're micromanaging too many things at once, you'll probably lose a lot of the story of what was trying to go on there and whatnot. So I think they did pretty all right.
I know the guy who handled the review on our show, one of his complaints was that he really wanted to listen to the passengers' stories, but if they were dying and they needed a med kit or food or something and you would take it to them, they would stop telling the story. And he hated that he had to decide between keeping them alive or listening to the story.
Listening to the story?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder if they may also look into that.
And then he also mentioned any... Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I just picked up this item called the Haterator. It says, causes a person to hate the first person they see because haters going to hate. Fortunately, you're the player.
That game's pretty funny, too, actually. There's a lot of really...
This is great.
Things. One of the best things I like about that is, there's... I can't remember what it's called, but there's a weapon in there that makes you just giant, just insanely large. And you can literally just crash through all the walls and do all sorts of just crazy destruction to the map. It's pretty cool.
The Mega Mushroom from New Super Mario Brothers.
Right?
You mean the mobile one?
Isn't that an endless runner?
The mobile Mario now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's in the news for later in the show.
Well, I mean, if you don't know about it at this point, then you're living under a rock.
True.
Just saying.
But anyway, Luke, we've eaten up enough of your night, so I want to thank you for coming on and chatting with us. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope you come back sometime and tell us more about the dozens of games that tinyBuild is putting out.
The millions and millions of games.
I know, right?
All due by 2029.
Right? Cool. Well, thanks a lot for having me, guys. It's been fun.
It was a pleasure having you on. And do you have any final words for our listeners to end your chat?
Thanks for listening. Sorry about
all right. Have a good one, Luke.
You too. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. tinyBuild's doing work.
I fucking love tinyBuild.
So many good games.
I'm so thrilled that they were on this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We've covered what? Have we figured out how many games yet?
A lot.
4 or 5?
A lot of theirs.
Yeah.
Like an absurd number of their games.
And it's because they're all fucking like, they're all good.
Yeah, they are. They're all friggin' awesome. They're all friggin' awesome. But yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but our show has been wrecking it with interviews lately.
Yeah, there's been some pretty heavy hitters.
Like our last episode was MetaNet Software for N+. Tonight was tinyBuild. Our next episode later this weekend has Compulsion Games for We Happy Few. I mean, what the hell? Yeah.
Serious shit.
And then next Thursday, all that momentum's going to come to a screeching halt with Loot Software or Loot Interactive coming back on. They're just going to kill all that positivity that we built up and go back to talking about pizza shits.
I actually, this is probably not the time to be saying it, but I'm not going to be around next Thursday because I'm going to be in Ohio for a gig.
Oh, you bitch.
Dude, hey, you're probably not going to be happy to hear this either, but I can't make it to MagFest now.
Yeah. What happened?
They booked shows.
But you were blacked at, like, how?
Because that's not the case anymore.
That is bullshit.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't even know when I'll fucking see any of those friends anymore. Because even this weekend, I was going to try and do what I pulled last time, even with Minimag. Because I only had a wedding on Saturday that was scheduled originally, but now they just added shows on Friday and Sunday. So,
man, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
The fact that you had dates blacked out and they still scheduled you for... That's...
Yeah, these things happen.
And there's no way to fight that? Like, hey, you gave me those dates. Don't you have it in writing or anything? Or a text message or anything?
I mean, I have the email, but nothing's, like, contractually binding.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you need a different band.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, we should probably move on to the oodles of news.
Lots of news. Lots of news.
What do you want to kick it off with?
Oh, God. I mean...
Well, let's talk about the big news of the week. Clearly the biggest news. Five Finger Death Punch has a new song in Rock Band.
Fuck that, dude. I got the email. All right. I got the email about the DLC, and I was just like, really? Come on. Like, you couldn't find anybody better? Like, I'd rather not even get the email. I'd rather them just be like, you know what? No DLC this week. Okay.
Well, I'm happy about the Good Charlotte. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
I could take it or leave it. Rather leave it.
Well, next week's not too bad. It has a Jason Aldean song that I don't care about, and then Sister Hazel, All For You.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, whatever.
I like that song.
Well, yeah, you like a lot of 90s stuff, right?
Hey, those were my years.
Yeah, dude, I get it.
That's the top of my game in the 90s.
I'm not against I'm not against 90s stuff, like, in general, but I don't know. There's better ones.
And then people are wondering if they have any kind of big surprises for the end of the month, because normally they list the rest of the artists. They have Disturbed and Fits in the Tantrums, and then 3 question marks.
Uh-oh.
So people are wondering if they have something big planned or if they just don't know yet. So
let's be honest. They probably have something that's worth waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, because they know this shit well in advance. Like, they've been on top of that for how many months now?
True. And it's like only 2 weeks before Rivals comes out, if it's the last week of the month.
Right. So
they might have something big coming.
Could be. They could be like, hey, we're celebrating the release of Rivals with like a bunch of fucking crazy nonsense. We're going to give you...
Muse, Metallica, and Pink Floyd.
I was going to say, like, you get Dark Side of the Moon, start to finish. Like,
oh my God, that'd be amazing. I would drop $50 on that DLC.
People would shit their pants.
I legitimately wouldn't be shocked if the new Metallica song made it in the game.
Ooh, that's a bold... I mean, I could see it too, though. That's a bold one.
I don't think it's impossible, but...
I mean, they've had Metallica stuff in the game before.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, that's also because they probably had a thing with Guitar Hero.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, apparently the manager who handles all that stuff is like the same guy who represents like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and a bunch of Chili Pepper songs just got delisted. So who knows?
Yeah. Hey, we'll find out when the time comes.
Very true.
And then we will report it as it happens.
Very true. But since we covered the massive news of the week, let's talk about some of the smaller stuff.
Okay.
The PlayStation 4 Neo has been officially unveiled, and it is called the PS4 Pro.
Because all those amateur PS4s get out of the way.
It is releasing November 10th, so it is coming this fall, and it will be $399, which is $100 more than the current PS4. Oh, by the way, the Slim has been officially unveiled, and will be replacing all the current old models for $299 on the 15th. But the Pro is going to have a faster CPU, an upgraded GPU, and a 1 terabyte hard drive. It will play all existing PS4 games clearly, and it will upscale to a 4K resolution, but it is not natively 4K for games. It will stream content in 4K from like Netflix and stuff like that. The dumbest thing that I can imagine is that it will not support 4K Blu-ray.
Wait, what?
It does not have a 4K Blu-ray drive in it. So the Xbox One S, which is $100 cheaper than the PS4 Pro, does support 4K Blu-rays, but the PS4 Pro will not.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hysterical. So they're saying that the primary benefit is the GPU and the CPU. But if you're, I mean, it's just upscaling. It's not, you're not technically rendering stuff at a higher resolution. It's just stretching it.
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's so, what the fuck?
I know.
That's so stupid.
I mean, there are going to be some games that are going to be, you know, they're going to have pro versions of the game with enhanced visuals or frame rates or whatever else. They showed off Mass Effect Andromeda running natively off the Pro hardware, and it looked great, as good as it would on my monitor because I don't have a 4K monitor.
Sure.
It noticeably looked better than current footage, like current games. Like you could tell it looked a lot better, a lot more detailed. But again, it's like this was supposed to be their huge thing, and it's just compared to the Scorpio.
Well, and here's the other thing too. You have to have something that is capable of showing 4K resolution.
Yeah, like you need a 4K TV. So
don't get it twisted. If you don't have a 4K TV and you just think, oh, I'm just going to get the Pro because it feels like my PS4 is a little sluggish, probably because it's on fire. But but aside from that, I'm just going to pick this up so I can see some performance enhancements, don't do that.
You'll get crisper visuals, but the 4K, it's not going to... I don't know. A lot of people are trying to compare the PS4 Pro to the Xbox One S, and they're like, oh man, this blows the Xbox One S out of the water. It's like, it's supposed to, because this is the upgraded version. The Xbox One S is comparable to the PS4 Slim.
Slim, yes.
And the PS4 Slim is doing nothing different. It's just revised hardware.
Right.
Like, the Xbox One S, at least, added some visual enhancements, 4K capabilities, and a 4K Blu-ray drive.
You can stand it up. Dude, that's important to me.
Not to me.
Dude, like, most of my stuff is digital anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, I would love to be able to stand my system up just for space saving. Also, because of the way that my setup is, like, I don't have a conventional entertainment center anymore that I've been putting stuff in. So, like, so standing a system up is beneficial to me. And obviously, I can't fucking do that with the one that I have because air.
True.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. And then not all PS4s are going to miss out on enhancements. Sony is saying that they're going to be enabling HDR support through all PS4 systems, although many people are saying it's not really going to matter much because the original PS4s, their HDMI port can't support it anyway. So it won't be true HDR gaming. It'll be like fake HDR gaming.
So, like, it's attempting to compensate for it internally.
Yeah, but it won't be true HDR because the current Xbox One and PS4, they only have HDMI 1.4, but you need HDMI 2.0 to actually get 4K and HDR visuals. The S has a 2.0, which is why that has 4K. But the original Xbox One and the current PS4s do not. So it's just going to fake it to look better and more vibrant, but it won't be true HDR.
So with all this talk about the Pro, has there been any other, like, updates on Scorpio?
No. No, I think because the general consensus of the Pro and the whole PS4 Pro, Neo, whatever reveal has been fairly underwhelming. Like, even PS4 subreddits are like, yeah, that's kind of a wet fart of an announcement. So I think Microsoft is just hanging back like, you know what? They're shooting themselves in the foot right now. Let's just
let them do it.
Let them do their thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
And then one of the other benefits of the PS4 Pro is that it will handle the PSVR natively. So I don't think it will need that extra processing box that comes with it.
Right.
But
I would fucking hope not.
Again, like I mentioned, our show is actually holding a GoFundMe campaign to try and raise the funds for our show to cover a PSVR. All the info can be found at GoFundMe.com/PSVR, the number 4, SML. PSVR for SML, all caps.
Because caps mean we're serious.
Well, because SML and PSVR are spelled with caps anyway.
I know.
So.
Just
Amazingly, we are at 60% funded in under a week because of some amazing friends of the show and some of our listeners. Xylo Freak hanging out in the chat right now chipped $50 our way, so massive thanks to Xylo Freak. We got to try getting him on the show sometime. Super appreciate your support of our show. I know No Pulse kicked 125 our way, which was mind-blowing.
Jesus Christ.
And then we have 2 other donations that were made anonymously, but they know who they are. So a big thank you.
They know who they are.
A big thank you to the one who donated 100 and someone else donated 50.
Jeez.
I know the one person wanted to stay anonymous. The other person kind of tweeted out that they supported us, but they made their donation anonymously. So I'll just play it safe and not mention them on air. But,
unless, like, they mention it after listening to this episode, and which we'll get you next time.
Yeah. But he knows he's welcome on our show anytime. So that's about the only hint I'm giving away.
Thank you.
But yeah, massive thanks to everyone so far who has checked. If you've read our GoFundMe page and just read what I had to say, I thank you. And if you were awesome enough to toss us a few bucks, I thank you more than you can imagine, because I have poured countless hours of my being into this show, and I would love to be able to make VR a part of this show personally, instead of just having No Pulse handling it for us. But anything, just just listening I'm happy about.
Yeah.
So
positive vibes.
Thank you for contributing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for everything. Even on Facebook, I said if just send us an email because I like reading emails. And funny enough, I actually got an email that quoted that message, and I'm going to read it on the show because that's what I do on this show.
That is what we do.
From Deanna Hurst, who says, as per your request, hi, you're welcome.
Hello, how are you? Email us and let us know at the SML Podcast at gmail.com.
I said you can always just email us and say hi. We like when people email us. So Deanna Hurst, my backwoods hillbilly down south sister, said hi. So thank you, Deanna. I love you too.
Howdy. Howdy.
I know later on this weekend we're going to be doing some giveaways, but I actually have a couple of giveaways to announce right now that are going to be happening. One of our listeners, Jesse Dorona, he's been on the show before. He picked up the PlayStation Humble Bundle, and he has a bunch of extra codes that he doesn't need, and he's going to give them to us to give away.
Cool.
So if you are interested in Wolf of the Battlefield Commando 3, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix,
oh shit,
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix,
oh shit,
Lost Planet 3, or Okami HD,
dude,
email us. Tell us why you want one of those games. You can have a shot at it. And then there's also a 45% off Street Fighter 5 coupon that I'll just give to someone randomly.
Yo, that's legit. That's super legit.
So, yeah, massive thanks to Jesse for that, and hopefully some people listen to this and enter and get some free games from Jesse. So I'm going to include a link to his website in the description, so give him a visit. Yeah, a lot of whoring out. A lot of whoring out this week.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you just need to do a little bit of whoring.
Very true.
Sometimes.
But now, back to our regularly scheduled news.
How about some news? Yeah.
It's official. Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour is coming out October 11th.
It's so soon.
Yep. Xbox One, PS4, and PC. The pre-order is live on Xbox One right now for $20. So
I'll be getting that.
Updated visuals, or you could play with the original. New music, brand new levels, new voice work from John St. John. And it is a re-release of the original with a whole new episode.
Yes.
So that should be pretty good.
I'm pretty excited for that. I don't remember if it was based on like levels that ended up getting scrapped, or if it's all just like brand new, just made just for this thing. But even still, hey, it's stuff that I haven't gotten to play yet, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Big rumors have been coming out of Korea that Red Dead Redemption is getting a full-on remaster for Xbox One, PS4, and PC due in 2017. The news surfaced as this version will supposedly include a full Korean localization because the original game only had a physical copy of the script in Korean with English subtitles in the game.
Well, that's one way to find out. I think it's possible. I think it's absolutely possible.
It was supposedly going to be announced at the PlayStation event, but it never happened. So who knows? It could just be another rumor that goes nowhere, or who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's absolutely possible. There are a lot of games. I don't know if this is one that we were going to officially cover or not, but I did start playing the anniversary edition of Titan Quest. Just kind of like messing around with it here and there.
Yeah.
And dude, like some of the newer remakes, like I remember playing that originally, and it looked like butt. Like it was. I mean, like not absolutely horrible, but the resolution was relatively like crappy, and all that kind of stuff. And man, it like they really went all out in making it look really, really good. And there are a lot of newer remakes that are doing justice, and I think I think it's absolutely beneficial for them to re-release a game like that because it still has like a very cult-like following.
Yeah.
And what else has Rockstar been doing? Like, they put out that fucking update for Grand Theft Auto, and aside from that, like, nothing. Like, total silence, right? Like,
yeah,
nothing.
There's constant rumors about stuff that they're working on, but nothing concrete has come out, so who knows?
And they're normally pretty good about, like, keeping things hush-hush.
Yeah.
Like, they did hype up GTA 5 quite a bit, but that's also because, like, people saw it coming.
Yeah.
Something like a re-release, I don't think people are going to be, like, digging as much as they would. I mean, shit, they already are because that's what we're reporting on right now.
Yeah, rumors.
But, yeah, I mean, like, it's... You think of Rockstar as a company, like, what else could they potentially be doing that would be their next step? And I think Red Dead is absolutely, like, the next thing for them.
Yeah.
Because what else are they really going to be able to do with GTA? Like, it's... I mean, I know they'll figure out something, but it can't be, like... It can't be what they're putting all their eggs into.
It'd be nice if they put out some single-player DLC instead of everything just being GTA Online, because I don't give a fuck about GTA Online.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, GTA Online can be fun, but I primarily play a lot of GTA games by myself, so...
I'd like to see, like, a co-op campaign added. I would love to have, like, me and you just sit down, jump on GTA, and we could do the campaign together. I would love that.
Well, you know what I would actually really love to see more? A newer Saints Row.
True.
That's what I would like to see, because they do that, and I get that experience, and we get to play that game together, and it's great. It's wonderful. I like those experiences more than a lot of the GTA ones that I've had.
True. Very true. But
so
anyway, speaking of remasters, Batman Return to Arkham has a new release date of October 18th. They revealed the news along with a new trailer that looks significantly better than it did the first time around. So they actually took a lot of the feedback people had with the original trailer and addressed a lot of it. But there are still a few noticeable problems with the coloration, especially in, like, the Joker's makeup and the clothing being way too goddamn bright. Like,
too bright?
Yeah, like, too colorful. Like, the hair is too cartoony green, and the outfit is, like, too bright yellow, and the makeup is, like, too vibrant red. Like, if you compare the screenshots of the PS3 version to the PS4 version, that's what was shown in the trailer, so that's why I'm mentioning those. The side-by-side, the Joker just looks so much more ragged and evil and menacing in the PS3 version compared to the PS4.
I mean, are you really going to fault the game stylistically on that, like, for the remaster? Like, aren't you primarily, like, if you're going to do a remaster, it's because the gameplay was solid, yeah?
Yeah, it's just visually, I think some of the coloration in it hurts it. I mean, a lot of the textures in the game, and it looks a lot better, but just especially with the Joker, for how he looked, how iconic his presence was in the original games, and how demented and evil he looked in those, it just looks so cartoony now.
Do you think that people that aren't familiar with the original and the way that it kind of, like, was portrayed visually, do you think people going into it blindly aren't going to know any better and will just play it anyway? Or is it glaring enough? Is it glaring enough for people to just be like, "Ooh, something's not right"?
For how dark and gritty the game is and how bright his outfit and makeup is, it stands out. It really does. Like, it feels weird seeing it. You should just dig up a picture of it or something, or look for that.
I'll try and Google it.
Yeah, but it's good to see that they did address a lot of the issues. I'm guessing the coloration and stuff like that is just a result of the porting and something that they couldn't individually take care of. But I mean, the gameplay is still solid on those two games, so I'm still eager to check it out and see how well it holds up. Some bad news. there is a lot of controversy surrounding Ark Survival Evolved. Have you heard about this?
Oh, I have heard about this. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the remaster. That's not like... I don't think it takes away from it that much. Like, I could see that his vest is, like, way, way more yellow.
Like, look at the hair and the makeup. I don't know.
I'm not opposed to it. I think it's fine. I'm okay with it.
The opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them, and yours is shitty. So, anyway, Ark Survival Evolved has got new DLC called Scorched Earth, which has many people pissed off at the fact that this is still an early access game, and they are releasing paid DLC.
Paid DLC on an early access game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, what can you really say about it? That's not like, as soon as you say the sentence, it's like, all right, I understand the problem here.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of issued a half apology, half like, well, whatever, we're not changing what we're doing kind of thing. But I just think it's shitty. Like, I know they had a lawsuit and they lost a lot of money and they got to find a way to recoup some of that money. But I think, if you're going to put out DLC, finish the game.
Yeah, finish the game.
Lie to us and say, all right, it's version 1.0. If you're gonna be shitty about things, just lie to us and tell us, okay, the game is finished. Here's a final update to make it 1.0. Hey, our game is done, but we're gonna keep working on it. By the way, here's some DLC. But the fact that it's still in early access and they're selling DLC is just shitty.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think people are more pissed off, not that they're selling the DLC, but the fact that, like, there's still so many optimization issues with the game that haven't been touched since the game launched, and they're putting out DLC.
Right. It's their priorities are a little skewed.
Yeah. But I don't know. Speaking of developers fucking up constantly, Payday 2 is finally getting updated on console. The PS4 update is out now. The Xbox One update is coming soon. It is called Payday 2, The Big Score, which will include more than 20 free content updates as well as 10 DLC packs. It includes the Point Break heists, the Alesso heist, the Golden Grin Casino heist. Each of those individually will be $6.99. And then it also includes the Sokol character pack, the Yakuza character pack, Butcher's AK and Carbine mod pack, Butcher's Barbecue Pack, Butcher's Western Pack, the Gage Ninja Pack, and Gage Chivalry Pack. Those will be $5 each, $4.99 each, or you can get the entire pack for $39.99 for a savings.
That's like a whole nother game cost.
Yeah. If you don't have the game, you can get the game with all the DLC bundled for $49.99, which is a pretty damn good deal, and it also includes a special Royalty Collection mask set. Doc Havoc in the chat, no, that was ported to consoles. No, this is actually the first update the console version of the game has gotten since it launched. Yeah.
Right?
Which pissed a lot of people off, and apparently so far on the PlayStation 4 version of the game, it broke a lot of things. Like, there's people who have missing content, like progress has been wiped. They can't connect online at all. The developers are saying that they are working on it and working on getting a fix out. But, they said that when the game first came out over a year ago. So
Not to mention the fact that, like, I convinced you guys to get it because I actually really enjoy this game when it works.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
I had fun when we were playing together. It's the fact
it's a great game when you've got other people to play it with, too.
The fact that they
don't support it.
Fixed it on consoles, and they said everything would be different this time. And this is the third time that they're saying everything is going to be different and they're going to treat it properly, and I'm hoping that this time they will. We'll find out in a week. If they push out a fix for the game, they earn another chance. If a week goes by and there's no progress, I think it's just more of the same.
Yeah, I think in this instance, I'm going to wait and see what they do with the PlayStation version before I go to pull the trigger on that. But I mean, hey, there might be some stuff that gets trickled in as free content, like certain masks and stuff like that.
It's always possible these are just PlayStation issues, and the game might be working much better on Xbox. We don't know. It just came out, we can only go based off of history. I've been chatting with the people at 505, and I'm hoping that we get to cover it on our show. We'll find out probably later on this month. It depends on when it comes along. Xylo Freak's asking to get them on the show. I would love to get someone from Starbreeze on the studio. It's up to if they want to do it. I know that they've kind of avoided doing press and interviews because of the reputation that they've earned on consoles, but offer's always there. We're always happy to bring people on.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, I genuinely enjoy the game. Like, I really like Payday 2.
Yeah.
However, anyone that ever wants to play that on console, I tell them to stay clear of it. Like, just because it's just not supported the same. Like, it's a completely different game from console to PC. So
and it's not that it's not supported the same. It hasn't been supported
at all. Yeah.
I'm hoping it changes. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's hard. We'll find out later on, as the month progresses, if they're actually serious this time. And I hope they are. I really do.
Yeah. So. Me too. I think that game has a ton of potential that people have never really given it a fair shot.
Yeah.
As far as console players, like it got ported over, and I feel like that is a game that can thrive on consoles if done properly.
Yeah.
And supported. So
I don't know. Anyway, let's go to some happy news now.
And what would that be?
Mario is coming to iOS.
And eventually to Android.
Yeah, eventually. But the big news was announced at the iPhone 7 conference, where, of all people, fucking Miyamoto showed up.
Dude,
to announce Super Mario Run on iOS. It is an auto runner with 3 different modes in the game. The first one is that it's all course-based. So get through the course, finish the game. The second mode is a battle mode against ghost data. And then the third mode is creating a mushroom kingdom using the coins you've collected in the other 2 modes.
Not on Windows Phone, Xylo Freak.
Yeah,
probably
sadly.
You have an iPad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just toss it on there.
I will. God knows I will.
Yeah, and it'll be a bigger screen, so fuck.
True.
Just play it on there anyway.
Very true. Very true. I turn on my iPad to look, and it's like, you have a software update.
Dude, every time I turn my iPad on.
Guess what? Because I don't.
I rarely use it. I think this is a very good style of game for Nintendo to try and do.
Yeah.
For the mobile market. I think the Miitomo thing was kind of like... I guess maybe it was just their way to get their feet wet with the programming. Like, I don't know. I felt like it was very flat. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. So I feel like this is more right up the alley of what they should have been doing from the start with their mobile platforms.
Yeah.
And obviously, Mario is pretty much, at this point, is their most mobile-friendly franchise, I would presume, considering gameplay elements. Because literally all it is just move and jump when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
So
and I think all you do is just tap to jump. I think it just runs for you. So,
which most Mario levels, you're pretty much just running through from left to right anyway, never slowing down. So, yeah, I think it makes total sense. Do I think it's going to be like a monstrous thing? I don't know. It's got a lot of potential. I think it really kind of depends on the way that they utilize their microtransactions, because I feel like so what I understand, I guess it's going to be like there's a level or 2 that you can play almost like a demo, and then it'll say like, hey, this is what the game's like. Now you can buy the game for reals and then play it as it's intended for like maybe like $10 or $15.
I honestly don't know if it'll be that much. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I'm thinking it's going to be like a $5 game.
I think it's going to be like 10.
Well,
I honestly,
we'll find out later this holiday, because they confirmed that it's coming this quote unquote this holiday, and it will be a paid app. So it's not like Pokemon Go, where it's free to play, where you just like pay $2 here, $2 here, $2 here, $2 here. I mean, I'm sure you're right in that it'll have a demo.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's like you get a level or two to kind of get the feeling of what the game is like, and then it's like a paywall, where it's like, all right, now you can't play anymore until you buy the game.
Which makes sense, but for the most part, it is a pay once and you have the game.
Yes. I think it's going to be like $10, $15.
We'll find out. Someone say if Square Enix can overcharge for phone games, then Nintendo can as well. No one is as bad as Square Enix. Even on the 3DS, no. Nintendo will sell a game for $29.99 and Square will do $39.
Right.
There's a Square Enix tax for everything.
Yeah, I think realistically, if I had to put a number on it, I think it's going to be $10.
I guess we'll see. Again, it's releasing this holiday. It will be a timed exclusive for iOS. It will come to Android later, but no info, no date on that. No. So you'll have to wait, Chris.
Hey, that's fine. I have an iPad too, though.
And then iMessage on iOS is going to have Mario stickers in it with iOS 10.
That's cool. I'm fine with that.
And then the final bit of news I have for this week is new backward compatibility titles.
Ooh.
3 of them were announced earlier this week, and I thought we were all done, and then they dropped 5 more today. So earlier this week we got Bejeweled 3, Death Spank Thongs of Virtue, and Gatling
I'm sorry, what was that?
Death Spank Thongs of Virtue.
Do you mind explaining what that is?
If you have not played the Death Spank games, you need to check them out. Made by Hothead Games. Okay. It is kind of like action RPG. They are hilarious and they are fun. So, Windows Phone version by 2029. Only if tinyBuild's on the case.
Yeah, right.
And then Gatling Gears. And then today, they dropped Arkanoid Live, which finally convinced me to drop the $10 on it. I've been waiting on that for a sale on that since it came out, and it never got one. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Never going to get a sale. So next week it'll be on sale. And then
of course.
Kicks Plus.
Okay.
Which it's like you use the line to like reveal an image. To you'll know it if you see it.
What was that called? Shit.
It was a Windows game. It's like an old arcade game.
Okay.
Just QIX. Look it up. You'll know. And then some retail games. First up, De Blob 2, which is cool.
Blab.
I love De Blob 2. Bayonetta.
What'd I tell you?
Fucking Bayonetta.
And I tell you?
I amazingly did not have my fucking disc copy anymore. And GameStop is selling it for $20 used.
Of course they are.
And then Xbox is selling it for $20 digital. So I just used my Microsoft account and grabbed it digital.
There you go.
And then this one is interesting. Of Orcs and Men. Which is not available in America.
It
was available in Japan and in PAL territories.
And that's it.
And someone said that they own the disc copy of the game, the PAL copy of the game, put it in their Xbox One, and it worked. So I might try importing a copy of Orcs and Men, because I've been hoping that game would come to America, and I've wanted it. So now if I can get it working on the Xbox One, I might give it a go.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still patiently waiting for Skate 3 or 2 or 1.
Yeah, everyone is.
patiently waiting. Maybe dude, I tell you what, I'm gonna get Skate 3 on Xbox One before or after you get Mario on your Windows phone.
2029.
No, 2030. That's when I'll get Skate 3. Because they'll be like, hey, it's 2030. What else has a 3 in the game? It's Skate 3. Here's your Skate 3. Shut the fuck up.
As Ilo's mentioning, the Xbox One is region-free, so any disc will work. It's like I knew region-free discs region discs work on Xbox One games, but I wasn't sure if all region games would work on 360 with backward compatibility. Because I have a couple of imports on the Xbox One. Like I have Puyo Pop versus Tetris. I just got Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter, which isn't coming out in America for another month or two. So
2022.
Oh man. Anyway, we should probably get to our reviews this week.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, we got 6 lined up for this show. I'm breaking them up. I'm going to be doing a couple more later on this weekend. I'm trying to ease it up for you, Chris.
Gracias.
See, I got you back.
Appreciate it.
First up, we will talk about, I am stupidly excited about this one. Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Developed and published by Capcom, released August 30th for 1999, in Resident Evil 4, Special Agent Leon S. Kennedy is sent on a mission to rescue the U.S. President's daughter, who has been kidnapped. Finding his way to a rural village in Europe, he faces new threats that are a departure from the traditional lumbering zombie enemies of the early installments in the series. If you don't know what Resident Evil 4 is, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'll just put it that way. If you don't know what Resident Evil 4 is, you've been living under a rock, because it is widely considered one of the greatest games ever made. The question is, does it hold up? It has been, the game originally released on the GameCube. I loved it on the GameCube. It eventually got ported to the PS2, where it was not as good. It got a Wii version with motion controls, which many still to this day believe is the greatest version of the game because of the controls. It got multiple PC releases. It came out on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 last generation, and now it is getting another new release on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam, and it holds up. It very clearly holds up. It is still the same Resident Evil 4 that you know and love. It does have a handful of control tweaks. Nothing that completely revolutionizes the game. Like, there are options to move aiming to the right thumbstick, which normally in most games would be good, but because of how Resident Evil 4 was built, when you need to shoot something, you have to hold a button and you stop moving. So there is no real dual analog control. So for me, I actually changed it back to the original way, where you hold the trigger and still use the left stick to aim. So I just found it easier that way. Some people will have an easier time with the more modern control scheme, but because I played it so much with the old control scheme, it just worked better for me.
Okay, that's fair.
So
whatever makes you more comfortable, then hey.
The fact that the option is there is pretty cool. So
yeah, totally. I agree.
Customize it to how you want to play it. Visually, it still has the same graphics engine, but the textures look phenomenal. Like, it is crisp, it is clean, it is clear. It is a gorgeous looking game for being so goddamn old. Like, it's not built from the ground up, but it looks better. It's not as good as some of the PC mods out there, because, you know, PC mods will completely remake a game just because they're bored. Where Capcom is a company, and they're just trying to get profit out of their game, and it's only a $20 game, so I didn't expect a ground up complete recreation of the game, although I'd love to see it happen one day.
One day.
Memories of Final brings this up in the chat, and I was just getting to this. There are no English subtitles in the game. None. Weird.
At all.
Like,
weird.
There's a subtitle option in the menus, but it is only for foreign languages. It is, if you are playing it in English, the option is grayed out.
Huh.
Weird. I like subtitles in my game. I hope this is something
Me
that gets
too,
addressed
actually.
and English subtitles are added. Ian says, not that you really need subs for Leon. Very true. The game, it feels easier than I remember. Like
just because it's controlling smoother?
No, based on like item drops. Like some of the enemies are still kind of a pain in the ass. Like I would headshot a guy like 4 times and he still wouldn't die, but I'd pop him in the knee and he's dead. Because, sometimes you just pop a dude in the knee, walk over and knife him to death, and it's easier. So
hey, sometimes that happens.
So I don't understand that, but I noticed the item drops make the game easier. Like, I am getting so much more money in this game than I've ever remembered getting.
Okay.
So for, like, the upgrades, even some people online are like, I had an inventory full of equipment and all my weapons maxed, like, the first time I met the weapon dealer. So like, I might be wrong. It might just be my memory playing tricks with me, but it just feels like they're giving me more money and more item drops this time around, which is weird.
It's very possible. Absolutely possible.
There are a couple hiccups. For example, in the first chainsaw dude battle in the village at the very beginning of the game, normally I would find a good spot on the one roof. I exit through the one house, sit on the roof, and it kind of like funnels all the enemies to one walkway. And I would pick them off until this section was over. And then a cutscene would play, and it would resume, and I would go and pick up all the loot that the enemies dropped. The loot was gone. Like, all the money that was dropped, all the items that were dropped, they were just gone after the cutscene. I did it twice because, like, something had to fuck up. So I just reset the game, I did it again, and everything was gone again. And I've never had that happen before in any of the other versions I played that I remember. Again, I'm old, I'm dying, I might be forgetting things, but I remember going back and picking up all the shit that I dropped. So that was weird that happened. And then there's an aiming bug where, normally in the game, when you're holding the gun, there's a laser pointer, and the laser would move around a bit, kind of like your hand is unsteady. There's some kind of glitch in this where some people have reported it, some haven't, but the jittery motion of the hand is massively sped up. So your hand is literally just bobbing.
Oh.
And it makes aiming a bitch. Which I don't know what caused it. Some people have had it, some haven't. Memories of Final saying that he's had minor flickering in the game. I didn't really see anything in mine that I came across. So I'm not too sure. For the most part, the game, if you love Resident Evil 4, you're going to love this game. If you've never played Resident Evil 4, I absolutely recommend this. Like, this is an absolute buy it, but you need to be prepared for the fact that this is not a game created in 2016.
You know what, though? I think, well, like you said before, it still holds up. So, I mean, as long as you know that this isn't a brand new game, which I don't think there's going to be many people that know that, considering, like, what number are they on? Like, technically, like, if they were to release the next numbered one, it would be like 7.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I think most people would understand that this is an old game being remade. So I don't think you would need to preface it with that.
Yeah, like the people who couldn't get into tank controls in the earlier games, basically this game is still tank controls. It's just the camera's a third-person camera. So you're going to need to adjust to the controls of the game, but I love it. It's still the game I loved all my life.
Well, there you go.
Final recommends Resident Evil 5 over 4 on Xbox One, which I haven't played the new version of 5 yet. I was actually supposed to play with Final, and he never told me when he wanted to play. So, fuck you, Final.
Well, it sounds like you guys got to figure out a day then.
That punk bitch. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, buy it. It is still an all-time classic. Absolutely, in every way.
Sounds good.
All right. Next game is called Jotun Valhalla Edition, developed and published by Thunder Lotus Games. This one releases September 9th for $14.99. Jotun is a hand-drawn action exploration game set in Norse mythology. In Jotun, you play Thora, a Viking warrior who died an inglorious death and must prove herself to the gods to enter Valhalla. Impress the gods. As the description mentions, it is an action exploration game. Control-wise, it plays like a hack-and-slash game, but there are a lot of sections in the game where you won't be doing any hacking.
Okay.
There are...
What would you be doing instead?
Exploration. You're
just running around.
Well, there are 5 main areas to go to, and all of them, except for the first one, has 2 sections to it where you have to find a rune, and you'll explore the area. You'll go through the challenges, find hidden secrets, make your way through the levels. Some levels are maze-like in their structure, and then some of them are more laid out where there's fighting going on. Like, not every stage in there is going to have actual fighting.
Okay.
There were a number of stages. For example, the one rune is kind of like an ice area. Both of the stages there was pretty much no battling. The first one, you had to, it's kind of like an ice lake that you have to make your way across. And every now and then you'll see a gigantic sea serpent go across the ice. And occasionally it'll come up and attack where you are. So you got to run the fuck out of the way so you don't get eaten. But you don't fight it. You got to avoid it.
Run.
The other one is more maze-like in that you have to go from glacier to glacier using stone rocks. Some of them lead to dead ends, others lead to secrets, stuff like that. But every now and then, a windstorm will kick up, and if you're not hiding behind a rock at the time, you'll take damage. So that's 2 stages, no fighting. It's just exploration. And then in another one, a dwarf one, there's a lot of exploration to it, but you'll eventually cross a bridge and there will be 40 dwarves coming at you that you got to take them all out to continue on. So there is a lot more exploration than fighting in this game. And the main fighting comes down to the boss battles, which are the Norse gods that you got to take out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I really like the art style of this.
The art style is incredible. It is everything is hand drawn. It is beautiful. There are some hiccups, like I've had, I take out a boss and the boss collapses and like a cloud of dust appears and everything, but because it's all hand drawn as one thing, like my character would just float on top of the dust cloud. Yeah, like it doesn't seem to mix properly. It just feels like my character was laid on top of this other effect. Also, the game feels slow. Like, I wish I moved faster.
All right. Well, I mean, that's something that could easily be patched, though. Yes.
I just don't know if they would. Like, one of the abilities, because you'll go through the areas and you'll acquire god powers. Like, some will make you stronger, some will create a decoy, some will replenish health. There's one that speeds you up. Lasts maybe 10 seconds or so. Like, I wish, I didn't move that fast the whole time, but just faster. It felt like exploring afterwards, because after you defeat the boss, it shows you on the little overworld map where all the secrets in that person's domain, where all the secrets were, and you could go back to explore, and just, they felt like I wish I could have gotten through it faster. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it didn't hinder the overall experience.
No, the overall the game is a lot of fun. The the boss battles they're obviously the showcase of the game. It's a lot kind of like oh god, what the fuck was that one game on the PS4 that was basically just boss battle after boss battle? Oh, I don't remember.
Sometimes there's nothing wrong with that.
People called it like a 2D pixel art version of Shadow of the Colossus, and it kind of feels like that here, where the main draw are the boss battles, and they're phenomenal. Like the bosses, the artwork, and the design is insane. It just
it looks
so
fucking
gorgeous. Great. Overall, the game is a lot of fun. Again, I wish it moved faster. This will not be for everyone. Like, if you're looking for a hardcore action game, hack and slash game, this isn't it. So I'm going to give it a try it, but if you're more into exploration with occasional, like, intense boss battles, it's definitely worth picking up, but it's not for everyone.
That's fair.
So, Final, if you've been looking forward to this one, you're going to love it.
Well, there you go.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Next game to chat about is called Switch and Shoot, developed and published by Matt Glanville, released August 9th on Steam for $1.99. An arcade shoot 'em up with just one button. Whenever you shoot, you also change direction. Save the world with a single button. Chris, you got some time into this, so give us your thoughts.
So, all right. So I went into it thinking like, all right, this is just going to be like, hey, it's fucking one button. Like, how terribly complicated can it really be? I found myself like really grinding at this game for a while because it was just so like, because it's that simple, you just think like, well, all right, well, it can't be that difficult because there's only one fucking button. So like when you mess up, you're like, oh, I was an idiot. Like, it was my fault. So you're never really like blaming the game, so to speak, which is great. I mean, arcade style games like this that are relatively like simplistic and fun and just simple. You don't want to necessarily overcomplicate things and make it more difficult than it needs to be. So it's very accessible. I feel like this is the type of game that like you could sit anybody in front of and they'll enjoy it. It's very much like a classic style of shooter in the sense of that it's very like the presentation is just pixelated. You can change like different colors of things so that it's like a little bit easier for you to recognize if that's the case, if you need that. There will be random power-ups that drop during the course of the game, and you have to, I think it's like 5 or 6 that you have to collect to get past the stage. But
I think it's 5, and then the 6th one moves you to the new stage.
Yes, they have to be in succession, though. And if you miss one, it will take one away from you. So your progress towards like leaving the stage can go backwards if you're not picking up the power-ups. I admit I did not get past I think I made it halfway through the second stage, like the second scene or whatever they're called. I don't remember. It took a while for me to get there, I'll admit, because, again, deceivingly easy because you're just like, one button, but you will probably die a lot. It's fun, man. Like, it's a really, really good game. It's very smooth, very responsive. I mean, it's $2.
Yeah.
I had way more fun with this than I thought I was going to for $2. I mean, shit, this is an easy buy it for me, because this is a game that, like, although I don't recall if there was an actual like mode for multiple players to keep track of scores, but it's very easy to just like it has almost like I'm fairly confident there's a mobile version. I was playing it on Steam. If there isn't a mobile version, there needs to be, because it's just so intuitive for a mobile type of setup. Yeah, man, I think this is an absolute buy it. I was thoroughly impressed with it, and it's one dude.
Yeah,
it's one dude. The soundtrack was actually not that bad. I got the song stuck in my head on a couple occasions. There was one main song that ends up playing throughout the game when you're actively doing a run.
Is that going to be your next cover song after the party hard techno?
I was actually contemplating it because it is a pretty it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool.
I like someone compared it to a space shooter version of Flappy Bird.
Well, yes and no. It has that level of accessibility because literally you're just tap, 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 and that's it. So I guess I could see that type of reference, but I feel like this has a little bit more. I don't know. I enjoyed this a lot more, like way more, just way more.
I unfortunately
Flappy Bird was like deceivingly, like soul-crushingly difficult right out of the gate.
Oh yeah.
Whereas this was like, I died a few times immediately, and then I was like, all right, wait, I think I can get the hang of this. And then I got a score that was like in the 200s.
Oh,
and then
wow.
I was like, all right, I'm getting it. All right, we're figuring it out. Like,
nice. Yeah,
so,
I enjoyed the game. I didn't get to play as much as I wanted because no fail, every single time I played the game, within 2 minutes, cats would be on the desk attacking the ship.
Yeah.
And not just one, there would be minimum 3 cats at a time attacking my monitor, and I could not keep playing it because the cats just kept attacking it. A nice little touch that I enjoyed was if you play it in... Did you play it in full screen?
Yes.
How it had the little banners on the side? Kind of like an old school
really
arcade game?
Yeah, it was
cool. If you switch it to windowed mode, it just shows the game window, which feels like a mobile game, which I think that's a cool touch. Where if you full screen it, he adds those little banners around the side so it's not just black screen.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It defaulted to full screen for me on PC.
Yeah.
And I saw the little like cabinet thing. As soon as I saw like the layout of where what the screen size was and everything like that, I'm like, all right, well, this was obviously designed with mobile in mind.
Yeah.
But even just playing it on PC, like, you could use literally any button. I was using spacebar. I was using my mouse. I was using like the letters on my keyboard. I was using like just everything.
Yeah.
So whatever's most comfortable for you, you can use it. I was doing a little bit better when I was using the spacebar.
I was doing pretty well with the mouse, actually.
Well, there was other times where I was alternating between them as well, where like my left hand was on the space bar and my right hand was on the mouse.
So you click one thing to go one way, the other to go the other way?
Not necessarily, because there were certain parts where like it was getting very, very hectic and it was literally just me spamming like the whole time just to like stay in a straight line so I didn't hit anything.
Nice. But yeah, I agree with you. $2, buy it.
Yeah, this is an absolute buy it for me. I like I said, I had a lot more fun than I thought I would with it.
I thought it was really cool. So next game is called King Oddball, developed and published by 10 Tons Limited. Releases September 9th on the Xbox One for $4.99. It has been out for quite a while on PlayStation and Vita. End the world with boulders. The king swings a boulder back and forth with his tongue, and you get to release it by pressing a button. Time the release accurately and crush as many targets as possible with each boulder. Simple but addictive. Conquer the world in more than 160 fun and increasingly challenging levels. The people at 10 Tons are fantastic. We've had Yako on the show before, and they seem to make like 2 different kinds of games, like core games like Neon Chrome and Crimson Land, and then like crazy little games like Baseball Riot and Tennis in the Face, and now King Oddball on the Xbox One. It's all level based, so you have a grid of like 4x4 with a bunch of levels that you go to, and you are a gigantic floating king rock moon thing in the sky
thing. Yeah.
And you grab a boulder with your tongue, and it just swings left to right, back and forth like a pendulum. And your goal is to take out all the tanks or soldiers or helicopters or whatever is on the stage by releasing the rock and having it bounce around and take everything out. And you have X amount of rocks, and you need to finish the stage before they're all gone. You can earn extra boulders by like hitting 3 enemies with one, or if you ricochet it and it hits you, you get it back.
And it's gold.
Yeah. Although, hilariously enough, if you hit yourself too many times, you are destroyed.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. I think it's the 3rd one that hits you. You're just and you just like vanish. Like I don't know. I don't know if they had like a destruction animation that didn't trigger, but for me, I just like poof, gone, level over.
Oh. Well, that hasn't happened to me yet, so I didn't even know that you could do that.
The game is ridiculously addictive because you always just one more stage. Oh man, I could do this with one less move. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got a very Angry Birds-esque style of like gameplay to it. But the physics of it were a little bit more interesting to me. And obviously the way that you select the next level that you go to, because it's not completely linear where it's like, all right, here, go to 1, then go to 2, then go to 3. It's like, all right, here's this 9x9 mini grid that I'm unlocking of a map, and I'm going to go this way. And then once I go that way, it's like, all right, I unlock the ones that are next to that one. Do I want to go this way or do I want to go that way? I'll go this way. So there is a slight like non-linear style of feel to it, so that you can kind of like, if something gets you stuck, you can kind of leave and then just come back to it.
Yeah.
But the way that they unlock the map, that like in that style, I thought was kind of interesting. It makes it a little bit more different than just your standard, like, I don't want to say Angry Birds clone, but it's very reminiscent of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be addicting, like you said. You know, like, I could do this better. I could do that a little bit better.
And it mentions 160 stages, but I honestly think there's a lot more than that, because on top of, the normal, each area is like 4x4, so like 15 stages minus either the starting one or like a special one. And I think there's 9 total quote unquote worlds that you go to. Some of them have special ones. Like there's one that's a diamond run that is basically every stage in the game. Every
single stage. And you have to, like, what is it? Like, you
do it
only
with
use
one
2?
Less boulder, because the last one is a diamond, and you need the diamond to complete the stage.
Yeah, I started running through some of that stuff.
Yeah, there is there's one where instead of rocks, you have, like, grenades. You have to blow everything up. There's one where you have, like, a unicorn horn, and it has its own set of stages. There's one where you only have one boulder, so it's one-shot mode, and you got to complete it with just the one boulder. You can earn extras, but you only start with the one.
Yeah, it's a cool game. It's pretty neat.
And then on top of that, there are hidden mustaches in the game.
I haven't found those.
Where if you can find a mustache, either like in a menu, or there's one in the credits. If you hit the Y button, you collect the mustache, and if you collect all of them, it unlocks the golden mustache world, where it has basically every level in the game again, but like mirrored or more difficult. So the game is fucking massive. Like they say more than 160 stages. There's so much more hidden in there. Between alternate versions, the diamond mode, the golden mustache mode, the game is massive, and for $5, absolute buy it.
Cool. Yeah, I would go as far as saying try it, just because at least, like, if you're familiar with Angry Birds-esque games, then you pretty much know what you're getting into. But I do feel like there's enough small things to make it like. It does set itself apart from other Angry Birds-esque style of clone games.
Yeah.
There's enough difference to like have it stand on its own.
Yeah, there you go. Well, buy it and try it. So either way, you're getting a good recommendation.
Yes, I agree.
Next game is called Four-Sided Fantasy. This is developed by Ludoland, published by Serenity Forge, released August 30th on the PS4 and Steam for $9.99. It is coming later to the Xbox One. A game about the limits of your screen. Four-Sided Fantasy is a seamless experience where you wrap the screen to solve mind-bending puzzles. Play as a man and a woman who attempt to find each other throughout 4 seasons in a year, constantly separated by the boundaries of the screen. This is basically a puzzle platformer, but we'll go with something early in the game where you walk up and there's a wall. So you can't get through the wall. Clearly, it's a wall. So what you do is you hold the trigger to freeze the screen and you walk left, and say the woman walks off the screen to the left, the guy walks in from the right, past the wall. You release the trigger and you're past the wall.
Interesting.
So you are freezing the screen, and when you freeze the screen, it's basically screen wrap is on. And there's obstacles you gotta get through, puzzles you gotta solve, items to collect. It is such a cool concept for a puzzle game. And as you progress through the game, they'll change it up. Like one has reverse gravity. Like the man is on the bottom, the woman is on the ceiling. And if you walk off to the left with the guy on the bottom, the girl, she'll come in from the right at the same area, but then go up to the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Or if you walk off and she's on the ceiling, she walks up through a hole in the ceiling, the guy will come up from the bottom and he'll have downward gravity, so you gotta, land on a platform or whatever. There's one where it's separated kind of by planes, where there's, a path in the distance and then the path up close, and one's up close, the other's in the distance. So when you switch, the other person's in the back, which I think would work awesome on a 3DS.
This is cool, yeah.
The game is cool as fuck. Like, I love the puzzle aspect to it and the different twists that the game throws at you. There's a bunch of them that are a bunch of puzzles that you gonna trip you up a bit. I mean, nothing is ever so hard that you're gonna get stuck and be like, fuck this game, I can't get through it. But it's, you'll have to think outside of the screen. I really dig the game. For $10, I think it's worth picking up, worth a buy. I am very excited to see it come to the Xbox One eventually. I will probably pick it up on there and give it another go. So, I'm giving it a buy. It's a really, really cool experience, a really different style puzzle game, and I think it changes it up enough as you go through the game to keep it fresh and interesting and throwing different twists at you.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. It's very, very cool.
Good art style, too. I like the visuals to it.
Yeah. It's very clean. Very, very clean.
Good stuff. Good stuff. One last game to talk about. You excited?
I am.
This one is called RunGunJumpGun. All one word.
Yep.
Developed by...
Spaces take up time.
Fuck spaces. We don't have time for that. We're already over 2 hours. We're 2.5 hours. Holy shit. RunGunJumpGun, developed by ThirtyThree, published by Gambitious Digital Entertainment, released August 31st on Steam for $7.99. There's also a soundtrack edition of the game available for $9.99 that clearly comes with the soundtrack. RunGunJumpGun is a tough-as-nails game that puts a gravity-defying weapon in your hands. One button lets you fly, the other blasts obstacles out of the way. With a cast of craze characters, challenging gameplay, and a pulsing musical score, it delivers twitchy, platforming goodness. Chris, this one was all you, so tell us about it.
I'm fucking bad at this game. All right. I'm not like horrible at it. This game is fast. This game is very, very, very fast. And in how rapid you die and respawn, sometimes it's actually very difficult to keep track of where you're starting and when you're starting, because it's just like it's so rapid. It's so rapid. I can't stress this enough. It's a fucking fast game. But simplistically enough, or at least it sounds simplistically enough, there are 2 buttons. You shoot the gun down, and that will cause you to fly vertically. Or you could shoot the gun forward so that you can, kill or blow up whatever is in your path moving forward. It is very much like, I don't know. I guess the closest thing that I could really kind of compare it to would be almost similar to like a Super Meat Boy-esque type of thing, but way faster. I can't stress this enough. It's fucking fast. I had a very hard time keeping up with it. I made it to... I don't even remember what I made it to, but I'd say I at least made it to 15 or 16.
You made it far enough to die a bunch, right?
Oh yeah. What's great about this game too is in the menu it'll say how many times you've died.
Oh god.
In the pause menu.
So it just picks apart at your confidence.
Dude, I'm fairly I only played this game, I don't know, maybe an hour or 2 hours so far. I didn't know that we were gonna be doing it for this week. So I only put maybe an hour and a half into it. I think I died 150 times. I
love the trailer for the game. Just shows the guy dying over and over and over again.
Oh, dude, you will die so much. God, yeah. I would say this game is very much oh man, it's definitely for a semi-masochistic style of person, because it will just crush your soul. It's very difficult.
It looks like a super punishing version of Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah, and it's very punishing. Very punishing. There is a checkpoint system, but you're not always going to have them.
There's a checkpoint system, but it doesn't matter because fuck you.
Basically. It takes a little bit to get used to because of the speed and stuff, but the gameplay is fun, albeit very, very difficult. I would say a try. Visually, it looks great. It does respond well. The pixel art's pretty cool. There is no story, so don't or at least not that I'm aware of. The in between levels, there's guys with robot alien head kind of things that will just say a random line, and I know some of them were, you're not really reading these lines, are you? And then you finish another stage, and it's yeah, see, nobody gives a fuck about the story. It's it's just not, you know what I mean? It's just kind of yeah, we know that you're just ripping through these levels, so just keep ripping through the levels.
That's funny.
I would say try it. It's if you like this style.
Try it, dude, and prepare to die.
You're going to die a lot. You're going to die so much. You're going to die so much that you're just going to assume that you've been dead this entire time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's brutal. It can get really, really brutal. But if you like challenging games, you will feel challenged by this game.
Paging
I don't
Jakes.
care. Dude, for real. I would be so impressed. So impressed. If we get codes for this game, I want to send it to fucking what's his name?
To Jakes.
Yeah. Dude,
I'll have to see if I could obtain any giveaway codes for this. I don't know if we will, but
if we do, man, holy shit. Yeah. I would love to see somebody actually complete this game. So yeah, I would say try it, give it a shot, take a look at it, see if it's something that you'd be interested in, but Man, it's tough.
It sounds
really
good. A lot of good games this week. We're gonna be talking about some more games later on this weekend. We'll have another episode either Sunday or Monday. We're probably going to be doing our giveaways on that episode as well. So, Chris, you're going to miss out on those.
I miss out on like the fun ones. Not all the fun ones.
I fucked up and I didn't get the tweets out for the giveaways until way too late, so I couldn't really do them tonight. But
dude, we're already at like 3 hours. So
true.
That's fine.
If you were listening to this episode before like the Friday that it comes out, but we're still doing giveaways for iZombie, 140, and Stories of Betham. So check our Twitter for that, twitter.com/the SML Podcast. As mentioned earlier in the show, we're going to have a handful of PS3 games to give away, courtesy of Jesse Dorona, the wonderful Jesse. And a late breaking news on a giveaway here is I'm going to have some codes to give away for the brand new Xbox release of Emily Wants to Play. So, Chris, I think it's time for you to play that one.
Nope.
Yeah, I heard from Sean during the show, and he's like, hey, the game's coming out tonight. It is Thursday when we're recording this, clearly, so it is coming out tonight, and I have 5 extra codes to give away.
I don't want one.
So Chris, you're going to play it?
Nope.
Chris is going to play it, and he's going to give us a review next week on the show.
Nope.
Actually, I think
nope.
I think I might get Eternal Rage to cover that one for us, because I know she's big into horror games, so we'll see. Ian is saying that you need to play with Emily.
No.
But yes, we will be doing a giveaway for Emily Wants to Play. Pay attention to our Twitter for that, because we're doing all the giveaways.
Yeah, lots of stuff to give away.
All the giveaways. iZombie, 140, Stories of Betham, bunch of PS3 games from Jesse. Emily Wants to
fucking
Play.
Puzzle Fighter.
Yeah. Okami HD. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, so much stuff. So much good stuff. But yeah, definitely check out our next episode with a handful more reviews, our contest giveaways, and our Compulsion Games interview. Holy fuck. That is so cool to say.
Yeah.
And of course, check out our GoFundMe so that our show can cover the PS Vita or PSVR on our show.
The PS Vita, because that's, that gets
Oh, come on. No one, even Sony doesn't care about the Vita anymore.
Nope. No, they don't.
But yeah, Again, massive thanks to everyone who has checked out the PSVR GoFundMe already. Even if you just read it and listen to what I have to say, I appreciate that. If you have a few bucks to kick our way, fantastic. But obviously, I'm not expecting anything. I'm blown away that people have contributed what they have so far. It means a lot that we have people who like our show that much, that they're helping us out.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Thank you, everybody, for contributing what you can.
So, Chris, you'll have to come up and play.
Yes, obviously. We're not just gonna fucking, I don't even have a PlayStation, so, and I don't plan on getting one. So
true, very true.
Although there's that Suda 51 game that I haven't been hearing anything about. Which is the only thing that I would genuinely be interested in getting a PlayStation for. So,
well, you
I haven't heard anything
Pro.
since what was it? It was like E3 last year.
I don't know. You'll get the PS4 Pro.
I'll get the PS4 Amateur.
Oh, people are mentioning that the wattage usage on that thing caps out at 310 watts, and they're like, "How hot is this fucking thing gonna get?"
Very.
And it's just a stack of, it looks like 2 Slims duct taped together.
It does.
It's hilarious. So yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks to everybody hanging out in the chat. If you missed it, feel free to check us out. Most Thursdays we've been doing this, twitch.tv/the SML Podcast. Music, I have no idea what I'm playing this week, so something fun will be played. Maybe. Chris, do you have any final words to end this episode?
Final words are, we didn't technically cover it in any of the previous news. But for Pokemon Go, they're going to have a buddy system. You can have a buddy Pokemon that was going to follow you like Pokemon Yellow, and you can have your own Pikachu following you. So go find a Pikachu and make it follow you, just like the old games.
So you'll have a friend.
It's the only way I'm going to have a friend.